Welcome back to the channel. So I do apologize, it is quite windy and extremely cold today for the Bay Area. So apologies in advance for the wind noise, but in front of me, 2021 M235i Gran Coupe in, I guess we probably call for this car semi-individual paint, and that is Storm Bay Metallic, which is also available on the X1 and X2. But let's talk about this car. So it is a front-wheel drive based car, and I believe it's based on the Mini platform. I think with the it's either the Clubman or the Countryman, but based on the platform of the X1, X2. So it does look a little bit unusual for a BMW. So especially with the front overhang, a little bit larger. The car also sits rather high as well. As you can see, if I had another like a 2 Series Coupe next to you, you can see it. The hood is much higher than that 2 Series Coupe. So maybe that's more to do with the safety regulations, but it does look unusual. And you can also see the gigantic brakes up front. The M Sport brakes on the M235i, painted here in blue, fills up the 19-inch wheel almost completely. Not much room left for this thing. Not much room left for that caliper. But how does it drive? I know a lot of people have done lots of driving videos on this car. I'm not going to do that. But if you had the chance to go to the Ultimate Driving Experience this past year during COVID, you got to autocross the M235i against the 340i. I believe that one was rear-wheel drive. But this car is actually a blast to drive. Sure, it's got all the front-wheel drive perils, torque steer, etc. But it's a really fun car. I was surprised by it. Now that it's little brother, the 228, ooh, the less said about that car, the better. But the M235i here, powered by the B48 engine, a little bit over 300 horsepower, it packs a wallop. It does accelerate quite well. It sounds decent for a 4-cylinder turbo. Maybe that's part of the active sound management. I don't know. But it sounds pretty decent. I'll get to exhaust and revs in a minute. But this one's basically pretty smart in terms of specs, other than what they call this M Performance package, which is basically just extended shadow line. So you got blacked out grills, blacked out air intakes, blacked out mirror caps, shadow line trim around the mirrors, around the windows as well. Out back, a spoiler in black, and the black diffuser. It's Storm Metallic, and paired with Magma Red interior. Now, I saw this spec from TRL Deals. Might have been one of Joe Achilles' videos too. But they had spec'd an M135i, basically the cousin, if you will, to this M235i, with Magma Red interior. I think it looks really great against that gray paint. So you also get the M Sport seats here in the M235, which I think are pretty good looking. Interior-wise, this car does not have live cockpit, so you get this instrument panel, basically analog with maybe some digital elements in here. I don't know if it's coming out well here in the video. It's unusual looking. And of course, not a live cockpit. You get sort of this reduced screen use for the iDrive system. It's a lot smaller. Driver-wise, you do, for my taste, I think I'm sitting a bit high. I do have the seat in the lowest position. I feel like I am really high up, sort of like a crossover almost. So driving position is just okay. Now it's got the usual stuff down here by the gear selector, auto start stop, sport, comfort, eco, pro, etc. I guess the question is, out in the rear, can an adult fit? So I do have to duck my head down in to get in the car. But I'm 5'8", not 6'4" like Joe Achilles. But driver's seat in my driving position is fairly good on leg room and knee room. But the drawback is, like, I'm back where I normally would sit, and then I'm hitting the roof here, the ceiling. This is not going to be comfortable for a long ride for any adult of any sort of substantial size. So I think it might be a good kid car. Fit your kids back here fairly easily until they grow up, of course. Out back, no climate control, just the fans and two USB-C ports as well. But seating position, yeah, it leaves a lot to be desired. All right, so that said, let's get some revs. All right, so the car's been warmed up. It's in Sport Plus. So let's hear it. All right, so a little bit of pops and bangs, but not bad. It was much better than the 230i that we had on recently. But let me know what you think of this paint and this spec. Would you go for the M235i Gran Coupe? It's not too bad. Price-wise, this one's just a little over $51,000 with its options. Starts at $45,000. Store Bay Metallic adds another $1,200 to it. The Magma Red Dakota leather is included in the price. But I think it might be a decent car. Obviously, losing a little bit of that BMW heritage, but I found it fun to drive on the autocross.